Hello again, everybody. Well, it's time to try out the new camera and get rid of the old flip camcorder. This was a Christmas present back in 2008 from my sister, and I made all my videos with this. Love this camera, but it's time to move on to high definition. So I think this will be a pretty cool way of testing the new camera. Let me know what you guys think. What I'm going to talk about today is one-way decks and two-way decks. A two-way deck is where the back is a mirror image, or it's completely reversible. It doesn't matter which way you turn the card, it's the same in both directions. A one-way back is different. It only goes one way. If you turn it the other way, then it stands out and it's opposite. So if that makes any sense. So the question is, I have four decks here. I have the rider or standard back bicycle deck. I have the rainbow bicycle deck. I have the Guardians deck, and I have the circle back tally-ho deck. So out of these four decks, how many of these decks are one-way backs and how many are two-way backs? Well, if you said that this is the only one-way back, you're wrong. So let's go through them one at a time. I'll move this a little closer and we'll take a look at the back. Now, the regular bicycle back, I believe, is a two-way back. So if we're not counting the borders, now remember, the borders on all the cards will make all cards one-way backs, although this is a pretty exceptionally well-centered card. But most bicycle cards, or any cards in general, you'll find the borders are off, so that'll make them one-way backs. But we're not counting the borders, we're just looking to see if we can find any differences, and there are none that I know of on the back of the standard or rider back bicycle cards. If you know of any, let me know. Okay, this one is pretty obvious. If we take one card, we switch the direction, then it just sticks out like a sore thumb in the rainbow deck. Now, there are decks that have subtle differences, like the Bicycle Guardians deck. Now, if you look at the Bicycle Guardians deck, it looks like a two-way back. But if you look carefully at the card, you'll see that right over here, the angel on steroids over his left shoulder, he has a gray box. And if we flip the card over in the other direction, you can see that the gray box is on the other side. Also, when you look at the sides of the cards, if the gray boxes are lined up, then when you look at the sides of the cards, they're lined up perfectly right down the sides. But if you take the card and you put it in the other direction, you can see that along the sides of the cards, it's not lined up. So this one wasn't that difficult to find, but this is a beautiful deck. I love the texture of the cards. But this one right over here is the hardest one to find, the tally-ho circle back cards. Now, on all the tally-ho circle back cards, there is a difference on the cards, and this is a very difficult one to find. Like I said, if you look closely, you'll see that the petals over here have the same distance between them as the petals on the bottom and the petals right over here. But on this side of the card, the petals on the bottom are really narrow, closer together, and you can see the gap over here is wider and the gap over here is wider, and the gap right in the center is narrower than the gap on the other side. So other than that, I think the card is completely symmetrical, and it's a two-way back other than this subtle difference. So I thought these close-ups would help test out this camera. I'll close the close-up. Let me know what you guys think. If you know of any other cool backs of cards that have two-way designs, or one-way designs, I should say, let me know. Let me know what you think of the audio and video quality. That's it. I'll see you next time.